After the greetings, begrüßungen, we'll move on to the basic conversation in German, which is called Einfache deutsche Konversation. Here, you'll get to know how you can have a conversation with someone to know about their basic information. So let's get started. Before I move to the conversation, I would like you to know that the Germans have two ways of making conversation. One is the formal conversation and one is the informal, which means formal and informal conversation. So as we move further, you'll see that the questions marked in yellow are the formal way of questioning, and the questions marked in blue are the informal way of questioning, and the response or answer to them has been highlighted in pink box. So let's get started. Hallo, wie heißen Sie? Hallo, wie heißen Sie? It means, hello, what is your name? Or what are you called? This is a formal way of questioning somebody. So, this way of conversation you can use when you are talking to a stranger or a less familiar person. When you are talking to someone in the informal way, you will say, Wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? And the answer to both the ways is Ich heiße Jagriti. Ich heiße Jagriti, which means my name or I am called Jagriti. We also have a different way of asking this question. So, we'll move further with that. Wie ist Ihr Name? Wie ist Ihr Name? What is your name? Or the informal way is Wie ist dein Name? Wie ist dein Name? And we'll answer to it as Mein Name ist Jagriti. Mein Name ist Jagriti. I want you all to just repeat after me so that you have a good pronunciation of the language. And don't forget to pen it down in your notepads. Moving further, to know the details of a person, we use this question, which is Wie ist Ihr Vorname? Wie ist Ihr Vorname? Which means, what is your first name? This is the formal way of asking, and the informal way is Wie ist dein Vorname? Wie ist dein Vorname? And the answer to this is Mein Vorname ist Jagriti. Mein Vorname ist Jagriti. So, after the first name, we need to know the surname. How are we going to ask that? That we'll learn further. Wie ist Ihr Nachname? Wie ist Ihr Nachname? Which means, what is your surname or family name? So, how will we speak this in the informal way? Wie ist dein Nachname? Wie ist dein Nachname? And the answer again to this will be as Mein Nachname ist Nischal. Mein Nachname ist Nischal. So this is the way you are going to tell somebody if someone asks you about your surname. So you'll answer this in this way. Generally, this question arises when somebody is filling up a form for you, getting your personal details to write in any records or data. So this question will appear there. So moving further, when we need to know that a person belongs to which place or what is the origin of that person, the place of origin of that person. So that time we'll ask the question, Woher kommen Sie? Woher kommen Sie? Where do you come from? Or the informal way is Woher kommst du? Woher kommst du? So this is the informal way of asking where do you come from. In German language, Sie is you with respect form and du is you, the informal way. So the answer to this question will be Ich komme aus Indien. Ich komme aus Indien. Indian is India. So I come from India. India is my origin. So when you want to know about someone's place or country of origin, you will ask this question, that where do you come from? Now, if you want to know where the person is living currently or where is the place of residence of that particular person, you will ask this way. Wo wohnen Sie? Wo wohnen Sie? So it means where do you live? Where do you live? In the formal way. When you want to ask this in an informal way, you will say Wo wohnst du? Wo wohnst du? Which means where do you live? So this way of communication can be made with your friends in your college, in your schools, or the friends you are living with. Now, let's move further. So, if you are in a situation where you have a conversation with someone at a university or at a Sprachinstitute, a language institute, and you ask them that what are you doing here? How are you going to say? Was machen Sie hier? Was machen Sie hier? What are you doing here? So this is the formal way. But if you question this to a friend, so you will talk in an informal way, right? So how are you going to say this question in the informal way? You will say, Was magst du hier? Was magst du hier? Means, what are you doing here? So this question can be used at various places, as and when needed. The answer to this will be, Ich unterrichte Deutsch or Ich lerne Deutsch. I learn German, or in my case, I'll say Ich unterrichte Deutsch. I teach German. Okay. Now, moving further, when you want to know about someone's profession, how are you going to question that person? How are you going to ask him about his profession? That what does he do for his living? You will say, Was sind Sie von Beruf? Was sind Sie von Beruf? So this is the formal question and it means What are you by your profession? This question, when said in the informal way, it is Was bist du von Beruf? Was bist du von Beruf? Which means, what are you by profession? And the answer to this will be Ich bin Lehrerin. Ich bin Lehrerin. I am a teacher. We are further going to do different professions in our upcoming sessions. So stay tuned for that as well. Now, getting back to the basic conversation, let's move further. Now, when you want to know somebody's mother tongue or the language they talk in, so how are you going to question them? You will say, Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? What is your mother tongue? What is your mother tongue? This question in the informal way is said as Was ist deine Muttersprache? Was ist deine Muttersprache? What is your mother tongue? So, the answer to this question will be Meine Muttersprache ist Hindi. Meine Muttersprache ist Hindi. Or whatsoever language you speak, whatsoever is your mother tongue, you will use that. We will also do different languages further in our sessions. Now, when you are having a conversation with someone, you are obviously curious to know what are their likes and dislikes. So, when you want to know about their hobbies, how are you going to question them? You will say, Was ist Ihr Hobby? Was ist Ihr Hobby? Or, in the informal way, you will say, Was ist dein Hobby? Was ist dein Hobby? So, answer to this will be Meine Hobbys sind Malen, which is drawing, Musik hören, which means to listen to the music, and Roman lesen, reading novels. So, different people have different hobbies. These are few of mine. What is yours? Do let me know. Now, when you want to know about someone's age, how are you going to question? You'll say, Wie alt sind Sie? Wie alt sind Sie? Or, in the informal way, you'll say, Wie alt bist du? Wie alt bist du? How old are you? And the answer to this will be Ich bin 28 Jahre alt. Ich bin 28 Jahre alt. I am 28 years old. So, as we'll move further in the session, we will be doing the counting in German as well. And I must say that the numbers in German are quite interesting. Okay, so now in this session, we have covered the greetings, how we greet somebody when we meet them, how we say goodbye to someone when we are bidding apart. Also, we have done some of the questions for the basic conversation and also the response for them. We have done the conversation in the two ways. One is the formal way and second is the informal way. The formal way of conversation is used when you are talking to your colleagues, your bosses, or the stranger. And the informal way of conversation is used among peer groups, your friends, your relatives, and your dear ones. German is a very interesting language. As you will move further learning this language, you will fall in love with the way this language modulates itself so as to express everybody the respect and the care within the conversation. So, as we have completed with the first session, we will learn a lot in the second session as well. Hope to see you in the next session.